After discussing the controversial Donald Trump in terms of legacy, I noted that he was the first president to be impeached twice. This is something that I personally don't ever see being replicated in my lifetime, unless somehow Kanye West becomes president, God forbid. With Trump's livelihood and legacy on the line in 2 weeks when recording this, I feel like it's necessary to talk about it. Now, I'm Lewis from the Thinking Bubble, and today we're talking about Donald Trump's second impeachment. What is impeachment? Impeachment is a charge of misconduct made against the holder of a public office. The first ever president who was impeached was Andrew Johnson, who was charged with 11 years of articles of impeachment. The most memorable cases in recent times is Bill Clinton and Richard Nixon. Clinton for allegedly having sexual relations with Paula Jones.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
And Richard Nixon for abuse of power and contempt of Congress. Richard Nixon was never actually impeached, but it did lead to him leaving office. The upcoming impeachment isn't Trump's first rodeo. His first impeachment was actually in December 2019, when a whistleblower accused him of pressuring a foreign government on behalf of Trump in the 2020 election. A whistleblower is someone who exposes information that a government organization did something illegal. Specifically, Trump was charged on 2 things. The first was the abuse of power by pressuring Ukraine to investigate his political rivals ahead of the 2020 election, while withholding a White House meeting and $400 million in the US security aid from Kiev. Secondly, obstruction of Congress by directing defiance of subpoenas issued by the House and ordering officials to refuse to testify. The Senate voted 51-49 against calling witnesses or issuing subpoenas. And then the Senate found Trump not guilty of abuse of power. So why is Trump being impeached again? In early January 2021, Trump had made many unsuccessful attempts to overturn the 2020 presidential election result. He called on supporters to have a march to save America. These supporters stormed the US Capitol to protest Biden's win. It was considered an act of terrorism. Trump told supporters, "We love you. You're very special." January 11th, 2021, the US representatives introduced an article of impeachment charging him with the incitement of insurrection by urging his supporters to march on the Capitol building if you weren't keeping up, defining it as encouraged and foreseeably resulted in lawless action that interfered with Congress's constitutional duty to certify the election. January 26th, all senators were sworn in for the impeachment trial, and Senator Tom Cotton claimed that the Senate lacks the constitutional authority to conduct an impeachment trial of a former president. In contrast, legal scholars claim that there is evidence for concept of impeaching a former official, deeming it as late impeachment. Very creative. The scheduled trial in the Senate begins February 9th. As of this morning, Donald Trump is scrambling to assemble an impeachment defense before the deadline. He had hired 2 new lawyers after his 5-person team abruptly quit their roles. The trial in general is seen to have little chance of actually ending in conviction. Sorry for all the people that hate Trump. However, this does allow a way for the Senate to bar Trump from ever holding office again. The trial in general could be quite a big disruption in DC, as the Biden administration is trying to get his agenda up and running. Trump has essentially built his case around a lie. A lie that the presidential election was stolen from him. The Senate Republicans endorsed this lie, mainly because they don't want a Democrat as the executive. But what about public opinion? Well, 51% of Americans favour conviction of Trump, 37% were opposed, and 12% are undecided. Trump was suspended from Twitter. Trump was silenced. And the feather that broke the camel's back for Twitter's doing was this tweet. The 75 million great American patriots who voted for me, America first, and make America great again, will have a giant voice long into the future. They will not be disrespected or treated unfairly in any way, shape, or form. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. I'm personally interested to see if a deleted tweet will be used against Donald Trump. But let me know what you think in these unprecedented times. Thank you for watching.